Iran VNC presents Students in Iran, 2 Voices, 2 Aspirations.
My dear fellow students from all universities of Iran, I am very happy that I can be with you here today. I was released from 1-week detention Tuesday night. I'm embarrassed to say that I spent only 1 week in jail. So many of our students, now in this very gathering, have endured as much as 1 year in prison, missing school and their families. The sweat of shame sits on my forehead when I talk of 1 week jail time. But I'm happy to have been released so quickly because I can now speak here once again on the occasion of 16th of Azar.
Mahdieh Golru, an economics major at Tehran's Alameh Tabatabai University, has been suspended from university and deprived of continuing her education for a semester now, and has not been allowed to enter the campus of the university. She has been accused of disrupting and interfering in the educational program of the university, fomenting disorder and agitation, creating anxiety among the public, violating and defaming the integrity of the university, insulting the system of the Islamic Republic of Iran and its leadership, as well as organizing illegal gatherings inside and outside the university. Following the elections of the Islamic Student Association of Alameh University, Mahdieh and other members of that group were arrested in mid-spring 2007. They were forbidden from entering the university and were subsequently summoned to appear before the disciplinary committee of that university, and there they were told they would not be allowed to continue their education. Mahdieh was summoned to appear before the Revolution Court on November 17, 2008. On November 22nd, she, along with a number of other students, carried out a sit-in at the compound of the Faculty of Literature and Humanities of Alameh University, in protest against being deprived of continuing their education, and in the early hours of December 25th, they were arrested by law enforcement and security forces and detained in Tehran's Evin prison. Mahdieh was released on the eve of December 6th, Students' Day in Iran. Mahdieh was one of the speakers at the student gathering called University, A Cry for Freedom, organized by the Office for Fostering Unity, one of the largest student organizations. The meeting took place on Sunday, December 7th, a day after the official Students' Day, in front of the Faculty of Technology of Tehran University. According to an Iran VNC correspondent who was present at the scene, from the early hours of that morning, and well before the beginning of the gathering of the Office for Fostering Unity, the heavy presence of the Law Enforcement Force, LEF, plainclothes security forces, and anti-riot police could be seen in the thoroughfares surrounding the university. The meeting was nevertheless attended not only by active students of the University of Tehran, but also by members of the Islamic student associations of several universities, including those of Khaja Nasir, Alameh, Amir Kabir University, Sharif, Abbaspour, Science and Technology, and Rajai universities. The University of Tehran's security and disciplinary forces also tightened their control and prevented journalists, photographers, and students of other universities from entering the university campus. For this reason, at the start of the ceremony, the students rushed to the western gate of the campus and forced it open by removing its hinges in order to let journalists and other students to come in. The gathering, University A Cry for Freedom, took place 1 day after the student Basiji had held a ceremony in which they chanted slogans against the opponents of the government and the system. According to Fars news agency, some of the slogans chanted by Basiji students included "Death to America," "Death to Israel," "Students are awake," "They despair of Obama," "The Cultural Revolution must be carried out," "The anti-Islamic professor must be fired," and "The university is no place for the Munafiqeen." According to Iran VNC's correspondent, the Basiji ceremonies, which were called "The Idealism and Justice Seeking of the Student is a Double-Edged Blade," the keynote speaker, Saeed Ziba Kalam, member of the Academic Board of Tehran University, said, quote, "One cannot tell the student when to rise and when to sit down." Ziba Kalam added, quote, "Students, unlike other strata or classes, constitute a movement in transition, and the student movement has a very short, transitory life because it heralds and seeks ideals and aspirations." In the hall, there were pictures of Syed Hassan Nasrallah, Secretary General of the Iran-backed Lebanese Hezbollah, next to pictures of President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad and Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei. In the course of the meeting, however, several students complained about the conditions. According to Iran VNC's correspondent, some 700 students attended the meeting inside the hall, while about 400 students gathered around the main gate of the university. Many of the students had quite obviously been brought in from other universities in buses belonging to the Islamic Revolution Guard Corps. On the sidelines of the gathering, several students from the Islamic Student Association of the University of Tehran, who were supporters of Mohammad Khatami, former pro-reform president of Iran, had gathered in front of the main gate of the technical faculty, and following the speech by Ziba Kalam, they began to sing the anthems, "My Student Comrade" and "O Iran." At the same time, they distributed pictures of Khatami among those gathered there, and after finishing their songs, they began to chant slogans in favor of Khatami. Meanwhile, the Basiji students began their outdoors gathering, and the student supporters of Khatami opted to disperse to avoid clashing with the Basijis. One of the pro-Khatami students told the Iran VNC correspondent, quote, "We just wanted to show up here so that on the 16th of Azar, apart from the Basiji students, other voices would also be heard."
If our current gathering is perceived as a protest of Iran's current system of government, without a doubt it is a consequence of bitter incidents that occur in our society. I'm talking chiefly to the leadership of the Islamic Republic, the number one person in the hierarchy. Unfortunately, the atmosphere of suppression is such that my friends from the Student Organization Office for Fostering Unity have asked me not to say anything about the leadership, specifically Mr. Khamenei, the Supreme Leader, who may make an appearance at Tehran Science and Technology University in the next few days. I want to apologize to everyone. We don't like to see self-censorship become a dominant pattern and a way of life in the student movement, but we agree to it due to the request of our friends. The rest of my speech was supposed to be about the leadership. We wanted to point out
دانشجویانی که آزادی و عدالت میخوان اعتراض میکنن به سیاست‌های نادرست احمدی نژاد.
But all the students who want freedom and justice protest against the wrong policies of Ahmadinejad, who has brought nothing but devastation to the country.
We will not forget the disgrace that has been brought to the university over the past 3 or 4 years. And one day, the Minister of Science and the so-called Dr. Ahmadinejad